Hi, welcome to my tube. My name is Margie. I'm a Oak Empath, and I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. It's been kind of a rough morning for me here today. I don't know about anybody else. Woo! Big old dip, man. I had a rough night. It was weird time-wise, and that's the thing is people just have to allow for stuff, and it's like, yeah, I walked by a clock. I had some sort of impression in my mind that it was like 4:40. It was like closer to 5 o'clock in the morning. And then when I came back in, I had picked up my phone and I looked at the clock and it was only like 2. It was weird. Some people would say timeline slip or timeline jump or whatever. Whatever. Just I only hang on to things for the moment in which I witness them. Anything beyond that these days is just going to cause cognitive dissonance because people just everywhere they're just going to start questioning what they see is questioning if what they see they actually see. And I was already listened to 2 talks Rick Levine this morning. I appreciate his points of view about things. A couple others, and it's time of deception. You really get to more opportunities to see if the tools that you've been homing the last few years of your own discernment, your own knowing and indecisiveness, if the practice, if you've been right, if now's the time we're seeing if the work that we put in is gonna pay off, because people are getting really good at deceptive, man. And you just don't, you never know what you can or cannot believe in. I'm in IT, I get emails all the time that just say stuff that I know isn't true. It's just fraudulent stuff, and it looks like it's a representation. Like, I mean, it looks authentic. I went to school for this stuff, and I know a bullshitter. I know a bullshitter my whole entire life. It's kind of what my role in life is to, because, teach that frequency. We're all full spectrum. We're all full spectrum. We have the capacity, the most wonderful, beautiful things. Create the most wonderful, beautiful things. We could have heaven on the earth, but what has been created? What with the consciousness collectively? This pile of crap. What? The astrology has said for years that there is going to be a point in time in history where everyone is going to be made to go within. And here we are. And that's the thing of it is on a collective scale, the stars align say this, and it happens people on a large impact, and it has. And because it reads the potential energy. And so, that's why I think astrology is so freaking miraculous, because it says, okay, here's the potential energy. We have the free will to change our scenario, to change the potential energy, but these are the energies, and we can, what we do with the energy is our free will and our choice. How many people are going to come out of this time within? Because everybody's impacted on some level of consciousness. It's been tapped. Their DNA's been waking up. Wake up. Stop being a dick. Stop being an opportunistic asshole. Money isn't real. Stop making people are figuring it out, but because I don't know. Anyway, I had a cup of coffee, made myself a cup of decaf this morning. I was feeling all my feelings because I had a rough night. So Benny got up, let him out. He did his business. And I came back in. I'm always processing energy. I feel so, I burn so much energy at night that I put off a lot of heat at night. I've woken up where there's just like saturated sheets because I'm burning that much energy. I'm processing. That's what we're all supposed to do. We're all supposed to be charging our batteries for the next day to start, a new set of intention for creation, whether it's in the heart space of love or that low vibey stuff, all the stuff that's focused on third quarter profits and what have you. So I came back in after Benny did his deal, and that Benzo right there. Hi, Benno. My stomach was unsettled. And I was like, I already know what the outcome of this is. I already know what it is. It's just how long is it going to be between, you know, I was going to get, I don't get sick very often. Like throw up sick. I don't get like flu, but I get like this. I get hit where I get freaking boom of like some low vibes, some negative vibes. It hits me. I go and choke it out, and then I'm good to go. Usually I do it with my migraines. I haven't done it with this. It just, I don't know, it was weird. So there's a big chunk that I didn't get to sleep, but I knew the astrology today for my positions and planetary alignments that it was going to be a low day. That it was just going to, it's just like, yeah, Margie, you get up and you can have all the ambition and go here and do this and desire to do that, you know, but it would just be in your best interest not to resist, not to create that resistance, and just allow today just to go. And that's the free will I'm choosing to go. Because resistance, man, that creates so much ailment and so much stress on people's bodies. Resisting things, I know it. I resist myself all the time. All the time I resist myself. Every day. Because all my critters are sensitive. Well, I have a couple that are real sensitive. So I can't like get frustrated and annoyed and be like, this is fucking stupid. Bah. I can't react like that. I can't act that way. Because they're getting old in age. They're 10, 11 in dog years. And you know, I don't go by, I don't really like going by, you know, but years age. But to give you an idea, they're closer to the end of their life than they are to the beginning. So I gotta help treat them better than the humans did when they first got here, because the humans failed them. And I'm like, yeah, I can understand that. I can relate to that. So I have to resist my desire to freaking, you know, I'm Aries Sun. I'm all about passion, fire, freaking, you know. So I have to find other outlets to release that energy. Creative outlets. I think I'm going to do some drawing today. I'm going to get out my watercolor pens, draw a picture, maybe some sketching. Who knows? Just tap into that creativity. You know, that's where source is, all the good ideas. That's the thing. Is like people have all these ideas. Yeah, there's ways to get intuitive powers and all this stuff. People, you know, are stepping into their spirituality and their spiritual knowing, and they're finding out what their own personal powers are. And it could just be freaking empathy, man. Why can't we just start with empathy? How about we can just start with everybody empathetic? I just think about how much the world would change with that, but people are still denying all those shadow aspects of life. When you deny the shadow aspects of life, you're just ignore it. Doesn't mean that the vibration still isn't there. Doesn't mean that the vibration still doesn't exist. Doesn't mean that you're not going to still get your fair share. Especially if you created some freaking ill feelings to create security to get that fair share of yours. Yes, the storyline of karma. Let's see if anybody's in the chat or if I'm talking to myself today. Whoop, whoop. I talk to myself a lot. I practice these talks. I'll be riding in my big red truck just blah, 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 blah. And another thing. Are all first responders being made to have a discipline, a spiritual fitness? Because we're all mind, body, and spirit, just not mind and body, that everyone has a spirit. If you get that spirit quiet, you plug into source, and that's where all the big ideas are. The big ideas. The ones that are good for everybody, not just for me. I live that way, that life that way. I'm just going to do what I want, you know? People don't vibe in very good presents anyway. I'm just going to buy what I want when I want it. That presents, you know what? And you know what? It makes me more happy to buy other people things. It freaking does, man. There is so much to that. I don't even have to know them. There's a lot of ways that you can just make people feel special in the world. There is. By just acknowledging them. Just like, you know, you can get a vibe of who people are, you know? And it just starts with a compliment. Something No. I used to be so closed off. I used to be so angry and so mad because I didn't have a good childhood, and I didn't have this and I didn't have that. But it freed me up to never really get dialed in with all that materialistic stuff, and I'm more, you know, careful about what I buy now. And I have the pack it in, pack it out rule. Like, I don't, if I get a new pair of pants, I got to get rid of a pair of old pants. Or, I can, when an old pair of pants gets put to rest, I can get a new pair of new pants. I went through that phase, my buckle phase, my D-bag phase. I have all these jeans in my closet. I'll bust them out every now and again. Like the big, oh, what are some of the brands in the buckle in the years that circa 2007. I like mod jeans. Those are my favorite, but you can't find them anymore. What I would do is I'd buy these jeans that were like $120, $130, but they're reduced priced, and they'd be my waist size, but they'd be whatever length, too long, and I'd get them for 30, $40. And then when they ship them to you, you could take them down to your local buckle or whatever, and then they would alter them for you. So that's what I would do. I've never freaking blown money and wasted money, and I look at stuff, like when I shop around, I'll shop around for things for a real long time. I'll get an idea about something, and I'll get weird kid bouncy about it, and I'll just latch onto it, and I'll just look at it. And one of my speakers, I have these, and I've had them for freaking probably 10 years, 12 years. They're good, but I'm rough on stuff, man. If stuff is made poorly, it's not going to last long for me. These are made pretty good. I'm rough on them, but one of the speakers, there's two of those smaller ones, and the big one, the base one that my laptop sits on here, and this is just where I live my life really intermittently between take care of mom and the DOGs. And speaker broke, so I ordered myself. I splurged. Now, and I'll use Amazon to research, and then I'll find a make and model I like, and then I'll go to the manufacturer directly. This time, I didn't do that. I did go to Best Buy. I have a history with Best Buy, but I'd rather not. But in this case, I came from the shadows and just went for it. It's so, I spent $50 on some new speakers, and it was like, I like surprises. Don't tell me when they're gonna show up. I don't need to know. That's just bells and whistles of tracking. And I've been on IT, in my mind, it's a logistics thing and I'll just think about it. I know the route. I know how long things take. I'll get things when I get it, right? So I get an email yesterday, or the day before yesterday. You're gonna get it, and tomorrow it'll be here by 9 o'clock. And yesterday, see, that's the thing. That's why I need to get out of the city, because not only do I know my patterns, I know everything that goes on around me. I'm like a freaking esoteric Sherlock. I pick up on everything. So I'm sitting out back, because it's about 6, 7 o'clock, and that's when the ups man usually comes through this neighborhood. The cat was hanging out outside, and I wanted to do a live, but I didn't want to get interrupted if I start talking. Then he beats on the door to let me know he's dropped something off, and then the dogs, and then my will's out the door, and here comes ego, and then but I really don't like to tie outcomes to any kind of ideas. This is just based on previous experience of how things have gone before. So I learned to account for not. So anyway, I'm outside, and I hear the ups guy go by, and he drops a package off about 2 houses up, and then he takes off. Because I'm mechanic, I know engines, I can tell. I was telling him, I'm like, I can tell a make and a model of a car just by its engine. It's because I hear my windows open. I hear them all day, speeding up and down the street on the 20-foot. But they go anyway. So, so I'm like, well, maybe, they made a mistake. Maybe I'll just walk up and I'll just make sure it's not mine. So I grab my camera, because I live on a freaking gorgeous street. There's freaking the blossoms and blooms everywhere. I'm just like, I love spring, right? So I put on my earphone, or I just walk. I know I just grabbed my camera and walk up the street, and I got some peonies, I think, and another picture of a different kind of bloom, I think. Anyway, it wasn't me. It wasn't for me. And then so I came back in, and I was like, well, now I'm getting, because I don't like getting them too late, because then I get in a certain kind of headspace, and I don't want to do videos from that kind of headspace when I get past like 7, 8 o'clock at night. And so I just opted. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not doing a video, and then went to sleep, had my rough night, and then I got up to an email. Oh, your package is running late. And I was like, oh, I never mentioned that. 2 days ago I got an email. Oh yeah, I did mention that. So they're like, the package is running late, you're not getting it until Monday. And I'm like, that's what I get for paying attention. That's what I get for veering away from my own personal constitution of it'll get here when it gets here. I got somebody a little something housewarming gift, and it was, I'm like, I'll just it'll get there when it, and I had that attitude with them, you know. I mean, it says it'll get there on the 26th or before, but I'll just leave that part out. I'll just be like, when you show up and it's there, surprise, you'll get it, you know. I like things like that. So I don't know, it was a rough night for me, but I already feel better. You know, it's funny how things change. I wasn't going to do lives forever. I remember when it changed up and that became a feature, and I was like, I'll never do lives. I ain't going to let people touch into some weirdo touching in on my energy, some energetic, you know, and I'm like, you got to understand, I was, back when that was happening, I was really coming from a place of ego. And that's where a lot of people, that's why people act so fearful, is because they're coming from a place of ego, and that threat is fearful, and that's what we live in. This is the division of the world. This is how the world splits from 3D to 5D. The 3D, they're just going to stay home forever. Or when they go out, they're the ones that are hanging out behind, you know. Hey, and they'll bounce back and forth 5D. You know, it's up to them. I have a heart, and they're easy for me to see. You got your they let me know by telling me they got their I voted sticker. I get it. I got mine for years, and then I figured out what it was. It's just a reindeer game. It's a circle agreed, and they got out of hand. People that really need help got a payment of $1,200. Some people got them, some people didn't. You know, this whole mess. And the people that offered that pay themselves anywhere from $12,000 upwards to $20,000 a month to decide, here's some crumbs, here's some crumbs, here's some crumbs. So I like telling stories here about there's enough for everybody. It's just like, why do you know, it was supposed to be, how about let's make it bottom up economics? How about we make a world of bottom up economics? Because you're trickle down. See, that you put people, control freaks, in charge, and they don't trickle down. They keep it for themselves, and they say there's not enough, but clearly there is, because they're wearing $10,000 suits, and they have several properties. While so many people continue to be homeless, and they just keep going, I want to help. I'm here to help. I'm trying to help. And it's just all lip service. So what happens is people are starting to really, really read energy. And they're starting to go up to these people and they say, no, you don't want to help. But you know what they've learned for years? They just avoid. Like writing your congressman, I'm like, bullshit, dude. That's like it's probably a junk waste file that exists. Do I honestly believe that congressmen and senators and all those people that get paid? No, they're too important. They don't read. They're too important. They have people read and then report to them. That's what important people do. They don't, they aren't active in their own lives. They're resource hogs. They want everything brought to them. It's ego. People are figuring it out. My world has been small for years because I discount people. I don't freaking recognize people that freaking have a favorite. It's like, yeah, I'm happy for you as being a joyful being, and I'm glad that you find joy in these things. I just don't recognize as these paradigms like pro sports or or politics or insurance companies or medical rackets or any of that as true entities in my world, because it's all to make money, and money isn't even real. Money is a made-up reindeer game. Economics is a game. There's supposed to be rules and regulations and checks and balances, but the bottom line, it's who's in charge and how they feel that day. That's all there is to it. City of Salem sent me a survey. I'm just going to put my URL to my YouTube link. Yeah. Because I don't like typing. If I like typing, if I gave a shit about typing, I'd write a book, and I don't like typing. So I'll just say, hey, there's a whole folder dedicated to the greed, fraud, and waste and abuse that I have collected in Salem, Oregon. First off, collected, because they did a project right outside my house, and I was out there every day taking pictures. I got hundreds of pictures. I got a whole folder of pictures. You know? So what I want other people to do is start collecting the data. What we're seeing is the heart space of people when they're kids. I don't care how old they are, it's coming back around right now. So the ant burners, everybody's like, see, because the thing is we have free will. So you even have the kids that burned ants when you were a kid, and then they're like, oh God, I feel so terrible. Ants are wonderful. I love, what they do. They're amazing. I can't kill ants. And then they go from killing ants to protecting ants. And then you have the people that kill ants, and then they and then they want to try, because people without feelings, when people can, as an empath, I would love to be able to ignore people's feelings. I kept my hair short. I know inherently, I know in me that hair is your antenna. It's like intuitiveness in my culture. In the native and many indigenous cultures, it's and that's what the first thing that when they had when the militaries first started and they took natives off their took natives out of their comfortable native men, and they shaved their head to be military because they wanted to use their tracking skills. They wanted to use them as tools because that's what they do. So they wanted to use them, and well, you're in the military now, so they take away your independence by shaving your head, make everybody the same, so they shave their head, but that's their intuition. A lot of these young men went crazy. But that's okay, because then they just made institutions and locked them away. And then here comes Big Pharma to sedate the angry man because you took away his intuition. See, that's the thing, is they take away freedoms, and then people get mad, and then they lock people away for being mad. Isn't that weird? People getting it yet? Are you getting it yet? A lot of times people, these government, these powers that be, they just ignore conversation. So if you don't answer, then you have nobody to answer to. But the thing of it is, the numbers are growing. I can feel it. The people are really tired of how things have been. So anyway, I'm getting too old for this shit to be freaking, standing out in the streets. I'll let the militia and stuff like that, those guys dude, come on, dude. Seriously? I mean, you have your right to bear arms, but what the fuck is that? A bunch of freaking, all I see is a bunch of people that eat their feelings to touting that, just because you can do things doesn't mean you ought to. I mean, I'm talking freaking full, like, automatic freaking semi-auto. It's just disgusting. What are you going to kill? Are you going to hunt for your family with that? Is that what you're going to do with that? You're going to hunt for your family and take care of with that AK-47? Because you can't. This is the stuff. This is the stuff. This is the bros club, man. Get in touch with your feminine side, Get in touch with your feminine side. Maybe you'll be able to relate to your wife more, instead of stuffing that in, eating your feelings. That's alright. Just go buy another gun. Drink another beer. That's what society got us to where we are now. Just stuff those feelings. Ignore them. My heart's starting to fucking race. High brink running. BR. I listen to stuff I don't agree with on the media just to try and keep that balance too. But then I'm just like, nah. Just reminds me of things I don't want, That's the thing, and that's the thing, and that's the thing is that's what that's what I see. That's what I keep trying to picture the world as, a government of transparency. I'm all about numbers. I went because I'm on IT, so like all the IT, I know the government pages, so I know where to go. Plus, I'm all about resources and stuff like that. I'm a freaking smart human being. I know how to use tools. I'm not a tool, and so I went to the government, to see, to get like a budget, like a list, an itemized list of how much they spent on this water waste out here that has caused me to not have water for frickin' 3 years in July. And so, but you know what they do? Yeah, we'll put that together for you, but it's going to take, we're going to allow, it's going to take so much time. The employee has to get up off the desk. And then they say how long it takes, and then that they're going to charge me a bill to pay a city employee his regular age, what it would take to look up that information for me. And then I would get a bill to look up a bill. That's exactly, and then they blow all their money. Look, I ask everybody in your state, go down and look in your capital. All their buildings are getting renovated. They're getting. I see new trucks every day. Hey, that's a newer make and model than I saw too. They're all getting new stuff because they are all getting emergency funds. Top down tricklenomics. We give the grown-ups the money, and then the grown-ups give the kids the allowance. But these control freaks, these psychopaths, these narcissists, no, we'll do what's right for you. We'll make things, but they're freaking vacant of ideas, or they're on vacation, or they're just like hiding in a corner going, oh my God, they're going to find out I don't fucking know what I'm doing. And that's what we're coming into more and more. Is that these people, how do unimaginative people, you've taken all the art classes away. You gave all the means for people to learn how to lead their thinking. You took them all away. So thinking is a creative expression. So if you have everybody looking at the same fucking thing, go team go, and instilling this idea of camaraderie and inclusion, but in real life it's membership, paid membership required, where's the preamble in that? I mean, there's letter and law and the spirit of the law. I gotta calm down. Oh yeah, that's the thing. There could be a that's the thing is I'm not a programmer. And that's why I get frustrated, because I'll get too frustrated. I took a SQL programming language courses, grad level at Creighton University, and that was a fucking nightmare for me. I'm not a programmer. Mostly a lot of times they just cut and paste anyway. So, I mean, anyway, I'm not gonna, because I don't spend my days reading like new languages, because a lot of like the big, they're too afraid to change, so they're still using like DOS shit and stuff in a lot of freaking areas, and it's just, I mean, XP in the government, and it's just another means of like, you freaking waste your money. They waste their money on stuff that makes them feel their ego stuff, and they don't use their resources for what they're intended to be used for. They don't, because if they did, the infrastructure in all these states wouldn't be freaking crumbling, and fires wouldn't be starting from freaking trees being too close to electrical lines. And now they want to use drones. They just, we're gonna check all that. Get off your fucking fat asses and go walk the lines, man. I'm so sick of lazy people. I'm sick of it. And then you can't fat shame. You can't. No, the shame isn't mine. I got rid of my shame when I lost all my weight. I had plenty of shame when and then you know what? Even when I had my shame, I got rid of it. And that's how my weight started. I started losing my weight is because I got rid of my shame first. Is because I stopped listening to what other people told me I was. If I listened to whatever other people said I was, I would be some freaking like, I wouldn't like me either. But you see people, and I'm just like, I see people that are like me, that I relate to, and I get excited about that. So I get excited and I communicate that, and I get back and forth in energy, and woo, I get all excited. People are like, oh no, you're too much, it's too weird, it's too much. I'm like, when did the world become so not enough? When did everybody just become not enough? Hey, you want to go do this? No. Want to go do that? No. Want to do this? This sounds like fun. Want to do that? No. And the kicker of it is, then I start seeing all these people doing all this stuff that I wanted to go do, but they're doing it with other people. I was like, oh, so you do want to? Why don't you just say, I want to do these things? I just don't want to do them with you. I fucking hate liars, man. And empaths like me feel them. It's just like you don't. It's annoying. Just tell people you don't want to know them. Tell people you don't like them. I do. Not a match. Or I just won't hang out with them anymore. Won't go there anymore. Fine. That's cool. I've been ignored a lot, and then it was like, don't do it, it's rude. And then it's like, I don't know, man. I just feel like a chump today. I do. I feel like a freaking chump. Like I got duped a lot from just being a nice person, you know? When people recognize in other things and other people aspects that they don't like about themselves, and that's what I understand. I know these things that I don't like in other people are things I don't like about myself, and I know exactly every reason why I don't like myself about them. And that sucks. Self-awareness, man. If you're a true spiritual being and you recognize you're having a human experience, you're gonna know that you're dark ass, you're shadow too. You have the potential to do freaking evil, wicked, nasty, gross stuff too. And I'm sure there's a percentage of the population of the people that I know in the world that think I'm just a freaking evil, wicked, crazy human being. And it's their prerogative. I think people like that lack in scope. I think they live in a very small spectrum. That's congratulations if your life has been so full of love and light. That's good for you. That you have created an incarnation for yourself. That your life has been love and light, and you haven't crossed any shadows. And your grandparents and your parents are gonna live forever, and you're all just gonna be this just collective group that just bounces joy. But the reality of it is most people don't have that. That is not the earth that they're living on. More and more I'm seeing more people do reports. You know, it's like fascinating. It's like my whole life people have denied my life. I talk about stories and accounts of things that have happened in my life. Oh, no, that doesn't happen. Yeah, I was raped when I was 10, 11 months old. I read the police report. That doesn't happen. No, people deny because they don't want to address the reality of what would happen to their psyche if something that would happen to me, because some people can be okay under these circumstances, and I'm trying to get more people to realize that. And that wasn't the only thing. That was just the first thing that happened in a story. You know, that's the thing. You can start the alignments, you know, you can do all these stuff, you can tell all these stories, but we're coming into a time that life experience is going to count more from freaking people reading book after book after book that are just basically written from reading other books and other books and other books. That's all well and good, but I prefer real people with real life experiences that have walked through hell and have pulled themselves out of the mire because everybody else freaking said, nah. You don't exist to me. And is still willing to freaking come back out and help other people pull themselves out of the mire to create a better world. I'm looking for more of those people. Oh, for fun and for free. Hope you have a